Добрий вечір. Jsem veľmi rád, že mám príležitosť prezentovať výsledky našeho výskumu na tejto konferencii, to začnu svoju krátku prednášku. Evolution of spin rotation of the white dwarfs in the intermediate polars. Intermediate polars are a subclass of magnetic cataclysmic variables, which are close binaries consist of the white dwarf and the red dwarf filling its Roche lobe. They often exhibit changes of the spin period of the white dwarf. Sometimes these changes are complicated, sometimes it just spin up or spin down on the whole time interval when we observe it. We monitor changes of the spin periods of white dwarfs in a sample of close binaries to study interaction of the magnetic field and accretion process, as well as evolution of the intermediate polars. This slide shows a brief history of research of the object named V2306 Cygni. The presentation is uploaded to Discord, so probably I will not spend a long time on this slide. So just about our monitoring, we started it with the observations using 60 centimeter Cassegrain in Klogovic in Slovakia and telescopes of Ford Scala Observatory in Krakow. Last year, we discovered the spin-up of the white dwarf in this binary system. We found the spin-up rate is typical for this class of objects. Here is the O-C diagram from our paper that shows corresponding parabolic weighted fit that was based on the data up to 2018. Due to pandemic restrictions, all my plans on these summer observations were cancelled, so I decided to use data mining and check the data from AAVSO database. Fortunately, I found unusual interest to this object during current year. For comparison, in 2019, there were only 8 runs, in addition to 6 runs obtained in Klogovic. But this year, there are 66 runs obtained by 3 different observers in AAVCO. This last group of points corresponding to 2020 and the previous one, 2019, it contradicts to the previous trend. And it looks like the spin up stopped and changed to spin down in 2019. Here is the short part of the same O-C diagram with the data since 2018 up to 2020. On this diagram, we can see that the statistically significant trend for this data, weighted fit, is linear. The parabolic term is not significant. That may mean that there is a stable spin period of the white dwarf, which value is about 1,467 seconds. The exact value is on the slide. And this scatter, we do not see any parabolic fit which may argue for spin up, a continuation, or spin down of this white dwarf. But let's say on the previous slide, the statistically significant trend is cubic. So it just one of the hypotheses is that the spin up is already changed or is going to change to spin down since 2019. The next years should show us this continuation of the trend. So I think that if it will really show this spin down of the white dwarf in this system, in this case, this object will be one more intermediate polar, which shows complicated evolutionary changes of the spin period at the time scale of decades. We see more such objects before, like a Quarry V405 Auriga, RxJ 2133, and so on. So thank you for attention.